We have another bulkhead to put in there and a shelf. Gonna be for the batteries. And a bulkhead will break off the well, the bow thruster, and still end up with a pretty good sized well there. That cavity and that cavity are the fuel tanks for those kind of engine beds. Aluminum Penske, 4-pound density foam. Catching up with Gary, end of the day, so we're putting the final touches on the stringers to the Barretto Cove 26s. Yes, you're seeing that right. Engine beds. That's because we are going with some Volvo D6 power here. We're talking 440 horsepower, diesel, rocket fuel, baby. Spinning a jack shaft and a Duraprop. Well, Gary's pretty much done. You know, the boys will come in and start wrapping everything in fiberglass, getting it ready for infusion. These beds, a shelf will sit on top of those, and then going across will be the battery box. We put the aluminum in there, so when we set the battery box down, we can tap into the aluminum. Did the same thing on the 32, worked out well. And that's it, bud. Joe and Bo have temporarily tabbed the stringers in place on the 26. Tabbing cures, they'll come in and grind around the perimeter of the stringer system to get ready to lay down the laminate. Temporary tabbing in place so we can pull the jigs out. And if they bump into it, the stringer system won't move, it'll stay in place. This morning, Bo and Joe are gearing up to do dry lamination and wrap, which is gonna be, oh boy, layer of 35 quad, 2 layers of 24 biaxle. So that's quad axle, that's biaxle. And plus additional tabbing, I'll end up with be about 115, 118 ounces. What we have here is the first layer of laminate, which is a 24 ounce biaxle. Now I'm going to beef it up with a layer 35 ounce quad. Then we'll go around some of the edges and put additional 35S tabbing. Joe's barking out numbers like a commando. So what they're doing now is second layer of laminate, which is a beefy 35 ounce quad with additional tabbing. Got the soldiers all lined up. Some numbskull on Facebook has this comment going on us Infused, and I don't know, a 13 or a 17, but he doesn't have it going with us. He has it going with this other guy, and the other guy is arguing with him because he's saying, why don't they just hand lay it? Hand layup is just as solid as Infusion. And apparently there's an Infusion expert on there. He's like, you're an idiot.
Breaking down the last thing you want to deal with, especially if you own a bar or a restaurant.
Show you event tonight.
The last thing you want is that to happen on game day. Do what I did. Get a permanent fix right now. Call 800-286-FLOW or visit rapidflowinc.com. With Rapid Flow,
Joe and Bo are completing the installation of the vacuum bag. This is the final piece of the equation before we can begin to pull a vacuum on the whole hull part. It'll slam the part back into the hull. We'll do 12-hour bleed down. We'll get this under vacuum tonight. We'll let it bleed down over the night. Then come in tomorrow morning, check for leaks, and begin to run the injection hoses. Very, very close. What we have here is the stringer system to the 26 Barretto Cove under vacuum. Joe and Bo have been doing a leak down test. It's holding very nicely. We're doing some last minute calculations. Laminate to resin ratio in good shape. They'll now come in here and begin running their injection hoses. And then it will be showtime. Well, I've been inside the spray booth for the last 6 or 7 hours. Been out of touch. Joe and Bo, they obviously have begun running injection lines. Soldiers lined up, so he knows exactly which is which in a big time team effort.
The dudes are ready for trying to fix it here, but They do.
Staying on the same page.
20's the last one on the top, right?
Yep. Job's not done.
These are 3-gallon setups of epoxy. Very different from vinyl ester. The mix alone is a 3-to-1 mix. Vinyl ester is somewhere between 1 and 2% resin to hardener. Epoxy is a whole different animal. And just for that reason alone, the ratio mix indicates how much stronger epoxy is than, say, a polyester vinyl ester resin. I can explain it this way. If you have 100 parts of vinyl ester or polyester resin, every 100 molecules, it's going to link with 1 molecule of hardener. Now that'll make pretty solid substrate. But can you imagine if you had a resin that every 3 molecules link with 1? How much stronger the molecular makeup is over something that's 100 to 1. One major difference between epoxy resin and vinyl ester and polyester resin. 27 gallons in one push. Took about 3 hours. I've begun removing the bagging film and work my way through removing the Compuflex just to give the guys a little bit of a jump on the day tomorrow, so they're not coming in doing this. Then we're going to set up some heaters and we're going to ramp the temperature up and give this thing a real good post cure. After initial 24 to 36 hour cure time to the injection of the stringers to the 26 Barretto Cove, we're now going through a 12 to 14 hour post-cure process where we are bringing the temperature up to 120, 130 degrees. We'll then slowly ramp it down, bringing it back down to room temperature. At that point, the layup will be post-cured, adding significant strength to the molecular makeup of the epoxy resin. When this comes out of the mold, you're all going to be in for a bit of a surprise.
1, 2, 3, up!
Oh, that is so fucking cool. The reason why there's no gel coat on this part is because it was laid up in epoxy. And with epoxy, there are issues with both polyester and vinyl ester gel coats adhering during the layup process. Plus, we paint all the holes. This one's going to be all gripped. And prior to paint, we have to apply an epoxy-based primer. Epoxy on epoxy, and we won't run into any issues. And all of this is part of building it. Metan. What we are doing here is weighing the empty hull. See how close we are on our calculations. It's funny because we're right at the center of buoyancy, which is 114 inches. He's right on it.
Your math is exact because you said 500 pounds of...
I said 500 pounds of glass,
Which is...
500 pounds of resin. Perfectly balanced.
If you just keep it...
Very nice. That's crazy. Well, it's not really crazy. It's
Making it Metan.
exactly what it is.
Go on the gauge.